Hey everyone, it's Natalie with Balanced Running and Fitness. We're going to be talking back squat. Really, you could do a whole entire workshop on squats and back squats and all the variations and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about basic setup and basic form that we want to keep during our squats. So very basic instruction, but again, there's a lot to this topic that we could cover, but that's going to be outside the scope for this video. I have a nice little drawing for you here. My stick figure drawings are legendary, I should say. So we're rocking it old school today. So for very basic illustration purposes, we want to be like this lightning bolt guy. Here's our good form. We have parallel lines between our tibia and our torso, and that's the shape that we're aiming for. Now, these two guys down at the bottom here, they're not doing so good. So see how they're just, frowny faces. They're not feeling good. So this guy, we do not have parallel lines here. We have a too much of a forward lean with the torso compared to his tibia down below. So we are not getting our posterior chain, if you will, loaded with this variation. This guy here, he's going to have some low back problems, possibly. See how his low back is arched? That's not going to feel good, and you see this a lot with back squats. So those are two very basic form problems that you're going to see with squat. So our very basic setup here, we're going to set up the squat rack so that you have to kind of get under this with a little bit of a bent knee or something like that, so that when you stand up under the bar is going to clear the holders here. The other thing I have set up is my spotters. Please don't neglect these. I've seen it happen in the gym where people get in trouble at the bottom of their squat and nothing's here to catch them. So we're going to set this up at a height that is basically at the bottom of our squat. So depending on how tall you are and how deep you squat is going to depend on the height of this. Back squat is more of an advanced squat form. Goblet squat and other kinds of squats are going to be a little bit easier. So make sure you have good squat form in easier variations before you attempt back squat. Now, to place the bar, there is a vertebrae here called C7 right at the base of your neck. That's the sticky outy vertebrae. That's the bottom of your neck. Please don't put the bar on your neck. We're going to be putting the bar down below that vertebrae. So it's going to be across our traps and below that sticky outy vertebrae. I know that's the technical term, but people know what I mean. We're going to be getting under the bar here. So I'm going to put that bar in that good place. I'm standing up, and now we have the bar across our shoulders here. So one thing that we want to do, lots of things we want to do. First, we're going to be engaging our glutes. And for those of you who are my clients, you'll know what the open the jars means. But basically, we're turning our feet to the outside without actually moving our feet. So glutes are engaged. We have a neutral back, so that means we do not have an arch in our low back. Our abs are engaged at that point. And before I start my squat, I'm actually going to pull down on the bar just with about 10 or 20% effort. And that's going to engage more muscles in my back to help solidify the move. I have my feet shoulder width apart, got my glutes, got my abs. I'm pulling down a little bit. Then I'm going to be sitting back in my heels and pushing through my heels is coming up. And here we go. So we're going to do reps like that. And when you're done, we're going to rack that back up. Now, the sideways view is not the only view that matters. The front view also matters. And because I don't have a cameraman, we're kind of stuck with some limitations here. But the other thing that you want to watch for is your knees. We want to keep our knees right in front of our toes. If our knees start coming in, hopefully you can see that, that means either glutes are not engaged or we have some imbalances in our hips or legs that needs to be addressed. The other thing is we want to keep our feet pretty straight in regular squat. We're not talking about sumo squat. So if you are at a gym where you can have mirrors to the side and to the front, that would be ideal. So that way you can kind of keep an eye on both views while you're doing the exercise. There are lots of other things to keep in mind during squat, but again, that's really outside the scope of my short video series here. But if you have more questions, please reach out to me or another coach that you might have access to so that they can help you and even watch your form while you're doing it. If we have enough core and if we have enough glutes, back squat is really fun to do. But if you are feeling your low back at any point, then something is off. We should not be feeling this exercise in the low back at all. So if you have any discomfort, seek out some help to help get your form set up in a better way. This is a very compound and complex movement, but it is super, super fun once you get going to help out all sorts of strength. It's total body strength. So I hope you enjoy and happy training.